Well, as you can see, the car is now outside the garage. I'm not sure what was up with the clutch, but for some reason it got better, which is, I don't like those kinds of problems where they just randomly get better all on their own. So what was happening was the clutch wasn't working good enough to actually put it into first gear, but it was working good enough to like wrestle it into reverse, and you could get it into like fourth and fifth and stuff. So we bled the clutch out real good 3 times, and that didn't help. So we figured that it was either the clutch slave cylinder or possibly the clutch master cylinder. So they're on order. So I guess there'll be spares if something goes wrong, in case this doesn't work out. So today, I figured, I'd just start it up, try it once again before we took everything apart, and no, it didn't work. And I went into the Atomic LS dashboard, and there were a couple things I wanted to check out to see if we could make it run a little better, because you're always looking for more power. I mean, even though it's got tons and tons of power, it doesn't need any more power, we're still looking for more power anyway. So I was playing around in there. One thing I did was I bumped the idle up from 700 to 850. And after doing that, I saw on the tach that the RPM had gone up. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that part works. I hit the gas a couple times, vroom, like you do when you're sitting there with it running. And I figured, well, I'll just try and put it in gear. Put it in reverse, it went right in. I was like, well, it didn't really make any noise or anything, so what's going on? So I put it in first, and it went right into first. I got out, closed the hood, got back in it, put it in reverse, drove out the driveway, drove around the 5-mile loop, and came back. So now it works for some reason. I don't know why. That's kind of disturbing that it suddenly went into this horrible mode where you couldn't put it in gear, but now it's okay. The only thing that I can think of is the last time we drove this, we drove it through a thunderstorm. Like, it was really raining hard. The car didn't have any problems at all. It was great. But we do not have the cover for the bottom of the bell housing yet. So basically, if you look under, I don't know, maybe we can actually see this. But if you look under the car, the front of the bell housing is wide open, which would be right after the orange oil pan there, and could potentially act like a scoop, at very least for water. But I don't know, maybe something else got stuck up in there and got stuck in our clutch, because it was right after that the next morning when we had a problem. Either that, or maybe because we got it all wet, the machine surface on the flywheel became rusty and it just let go after a little bit. I don't know. One thing we're going to move higher up on the priority list is putting the cover on the bell housing, though. That was kind of a back burner item. I think we're going to do that a little sooner now. That's it. We're back on the road. Hooray. New tires, all new suspension, 6-liter engine. It's freaking pretty awesome to drive. I got my camera mount, well, another version of my crappy milk crate and bungee cord camera mount set up in the back there, so maybe this evening we'll do a little video ride.